She is this year's recipient for the Respect Principle Award, Laura Ulloa.
Good evening to all of you, and thank you for having me here. I want to dedicate this award to all Colombians who, in spite their suffering, respect each other's differences and are building peace. Thank you. I want to start by giving thanks to the Ali family for their generosity, for all the effort done to maintain the principles that Mr. Muhammad Ali fought for. We should all keep them close if we want this world to be a better place. I also want to thank my family. We have gone through many difficulties, and despite all the pain endured, they are my biggest support and inspiration. Mom, Dad, Andrea, and my incredible husband, Mauricio, who is here tonight. In 2001, a group of urban militias kidnapped me when I was going home on the school bus. 20 minutes afterwards, at the edge of the dense Colombian jungle, alone and afraid, I was being sold to the FARC. When a militiaman told me I could open my eyes, I saw before me 20 heavily armed guerrillas. So as anyone would do in my situation, I looked up at them and smiled. To this day, I have always wondered why I did that. It was probably because my parents had always told me that when I meet someone new, I must be polite. But their reaction was one I had never experienced before. They looked at me with contempt and ignored me. I felt as though they hated me, so I quickly whipped away my smile. Over the course of my 7 months' captivity, my thoughts and feelings toward my captors evolved. In the beginning, to them, I was a privileged, spoiled, and naive girl whose family, they believed, was at the root of all the inequality and corruption that plagued the country. To me, they were immoral outlaws responsible for all the deaths and suffering in Colombia. We got to know each other better over time. I learned that many guerrillas were recruited during the teenage years, most never having received a formal education, and more tragically, came from dysfunctional and abusive families. This is when I realized that the first step in establishing respect is to learn and understand the story of another. Although I will always disagree with my captors for having kidnapped me and for the ways in which they fought for justice, I was able to forgive them. Because even though we came from two different worlds, we were able to open up our minds, to understand each other's values and beliefs, and even when we disagree. I have dedicated many years fighting against the prejudice and shame society places on former combatants. I have worked with the Colombian government in the Reintegration program, which helps them rejoin modern society. Currently, I feel honored to say that I have friends who once were guerrillas, and sometimes they even smile back. Muhammad Ali was a fighter who waged important battles to protect the most vulnerable, including himself. His life was a fight against the strongest and a battle to defend the weakest. He did this together with his family, his biggest support. I am proud to be a small part of his legacy. Thank you very much.